Hello everyone, how's it going? Are you guys excited? Nah, that doesn't work for me. Are you guys excited? All right, I know you guys have been waiting for this, but before I begin, I just want to tell you really fast, I have a note from the people. Let's see, after the panel, make sure you head to the screening room for episode 12 of season 3, where we are taking a picture to show Funimation how many people came to the screening, so that way we can do more. So after this panel, make sure you head on over. All right, I know you guys have been waiting all day for this, and I'm gonna go slow. I don't wanna mess up any names here. So, please help me in welcoming Monica Rial, David Matranga, Brina Palencia, Josh Grelle, Britney Karbowski. Get up! In that order? Yeah, sure. Not exactly there. Yeah. I know, it's really nice. Oh no. No, I didn't see that. Guys, give it up for the cast of My Hero Academia. We cannot see any of you. Dark Shadow is dead now. It's just like... So I apologize, we ran out of mics. So, you guys are voice actors, you guys can project, right? There you go. All right, so good afternoon, everyone. Is this your first time all together like this? Have you guys all been together in a panel like this where there's 5 of you?
I think this particular group, no.
Yeah.
Yes, we've all been on panels together, but not in this formation.
Yeah.
It's always a different
Not these characters together at the same time.
Yeah.
Right.
Yes, no. So that way
I love how that was really hard for us to explain. Not what kind of with this.
Not a piano before. I just want to make that clear.
All right, so I have a question for you guys. The new season actually kicks off today. So before we get to like specific character ones, I'm gonna ask you guys, I'm gonna go down the row, I'll start right over here, and tell us what we can expect from your characters this season. I'll start right over here. Without giving too much away.
Better. She's feeling a lot better now.
He's just gonna hide it in his room. Like, it's dark in there.
Ribbit. I just want a friend.
I'm going to be studying a lot because I failed my provisional licensing exam.
Maybe this is the moment where y'all go,
Yeah, this is the moment. Yeah.
So we want you guys to be part of this as well. All you have to do, if you notice right behind you, is that you can text your pictures and messages to the screen using the phone number on the screen. So if you have a question, make sure you guys text it, and it will pop up on the screen as well. So,
what do you do?
Now I know all of you guys voice really popular characters within the anime, but I'm gonna try to get in as many questions as possible from the fans and myself. But first, I'm gonna start with David. Your character, Todoroki, is easily probably one of the most fan favorite ones out of...
Yes!
Now, were you prepared for such a big reaction to the character and the role itself?
Not really. I mean, you know, the only information I had about what the character's popularity or anything like that was Colleen, who plays Yaoyorozu and is also the director of My Hero. She kind of gave me her opinion about the character, and it was one of her favorite characters, but I didn't, I knew it was going to be we had heard that it was going to be a fairly popular show, or that was the expectation. But when I auditioned for this show, I auditioned for several roles: All Might and Bakugo. I think I read for Midoriya and Todoroki and maybe Aizawa. So I didn't really know that the character specifically would be something that people would dig, but we kind of had an idea that the show might be.
And he started off kind of a sourpuss at the beginning, as the show continued. That's putting
He's
it
got
gently,
all
right?
the reason in the world to be a sourpuss.
And his arc has kind of expanded into someone who now we can see, was hurt by his father as he was growing up. How was that? Is it nice to have that kind of story arc?
I mean, from the beginning,
Very disrespectful.
I know, this is amazing. I want like an iPad beside me so I can.
I know, seriously. I love the first few words to you can tell we're in Texas because half of the text has say y'all.
Wait, what was the
I feel like at home.
Best boy.
Hi, lady. Have that character arc?
I mean, this character is like a dream to get to work on, honestly, because of that reason. It starts really a slow burn. I tend to get cast in characters that are kind of quiet and in the background and maybe have like a darker past or a secret or something. Yeah, nice, dude. So it was great to get to work and see him evolve and try to come out of his shell and sort of get his inner monologue and what's going on with him. But yeah, no, it's amazing to work on because there's so much there to get to work with.
Awesome. I'm gonna move over to Brina.
Brina.
Now.
Brina. It's like Sabrina without the sun.
Brina. Okay, so let me see because the character has a lot of names. Mineta?
Yeah.
Yeah, I want to make sure I said it right. He has some very interesting dialogue.
That's an interesting way to put it.
Test. He has some very interesting dialogue in the show. Is it kind of fun to play that kind of character that can say and do those types of things?
Yeah, absolutely. I was just telling somebody that came through my line recently, today, that is what happened today, that it's kind of, I've never had to say anything as Mienta that I didn't want to say, because thankfully, Colleen, who's directing it, like, we both are sort of on the same page as far as like, we need to rein this in just a little bit. So we're definitely down to push the envelope in that regard, but we also, don't want it to go off the deep end. So that's actually another reason. That's partially why I decided to do the lift, because I thought, to me, I think that lifts are like the cutest thing in the world. And so I just thought it was really funny to take this character who is so depraved and add the most adorable, like, vocal cord. I hope that it makes them a little more tolerable.
Do you think this is the year, or that he even deserves the chance to get a girlfriend?
No, he's so far from that. He has so much to learn about life and women. He is not ready for a girlfriend.
So now I'm going to jump over to Monica. Let's go over with you next. Sue is so timid yet so fierce, but that voice is probably really killer on your throat, isn't it?
No, not at all, actually. It's a lot of fun to do. But to be fair, I've been voice acting for 20 years, and so I tell people, it's kind of like, is anybody in martial arts? So, like, they do something called conditioning, which is where you basically get beat up so that every time you do get beat up, you don't bruise as badly. So I kind of did that to my throat over the years. I've conditioned my throat to not hurt anymore. So now when people ask, like, does that hurt you? And I'm like, well, it doesn't hurt me, but I'm weird. So it might hurt you, but it's a lot of fun to talk like this. I'm not even joking, I do it all the time.
How many times?
Can you say, please don't try this at home in Tsuyu's way?
Please, don't try this at home.
How many times do they make you say ribbon?
Oh my word. We say ribbon a lot, but what is most fun to me is that in the Japanese, Aoi, they allow her to say "gero gero" when her mouth is closed. And so in the script, it'll say "closed mouth ribbit." I would like you all to attempt to say "ribbit" with your mouth closed. It's not pretty. So we try to come up with like frog sounds. So you'll notice a lot of times that when Aoi says "gero gero" with a closed mouth, I go or like you have to figure out all these weird noises to sound like a frog, but not. It's strange, y'all. Our job is strange. So weird.
So while I was doing a little bit of research on Tsuyu, I found that there was a lot of people out there that really like Tsuyu because of her ability to kind of get along with everyone.
Yeah.
How does it feel to voice act a character that isn't overly sexualized, over, you know, like that you know, it's
refreshing.
Yeah.
It's refreshing. Because, you know, I mean, and it's just anime as a whole. You know, you've got your harem anime, which I do enjoy a lot of them, but it tends to come with a lot of bouncing parts and things like that. So it's nice to play a character that is fully clothed and, you know, is not known for her sexuality, but for her actual skill and what she does as a human being. And I also love Sue because, well, for many reasons, but I'm kind of like the mom. I don't know how I became like the mom of Funimation and Sentai, but I'm kind of like Mama Monica. And Sue is kind of like the mom of her friend group. You know, she's the one that's like making sure everybody's okay and like checking in on stuff in the dorm room episode where she was so concerned about her friends.
Oh my God, yeah.
So sad. And she's a little precious little cinnamon roll and I love her very much.
A frog cinnamon roll.
So someone asked on the screen. They said, "Is it true that it was your birthday on October 5th?" Yes. Can we sing "Happy Birthday" really fast?
Oh my gosh!
1, 2, 3.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Monica. Happy birthday to you.
Thank you guys very, very much. You're gonna make me cry. And I'm gonna try really hard not to do that because I still have pictures to take for Christmas.
Thank you, whoever was operating the lights for the little rave show at the end of that. That was really sold it.
So I'm going to move over to Britney next. Camie is one of the more recent additions to the My Hero family, but yet has become extremely popular. Were you aware of how big the show was before you joined?
Definitely, yes. I was super excited. I had auditioned like everybody else for, you know, and not been a part of the show. And so I was at Florida SuperCon, and I remember saying, because I had just gotten the audition in, but I really wanted to like go and have it done, you know, and so I was like, hey, Monica, can you message Colleen and ask her if I can do this like in a professional studio and not in the hotel room? Because it was really important to me. But yeah, I was ecstatic to be part of the, I would have just stayed in the background and birthed. I would have been okay with that too. Like, I just wanted to be part of the show, you know? Like, it's really cute. Oh, this is that good artist. I met her. She's a good artist. She's right here. Yes, you're good.
She's here. So there's actually been some debate on whether Camie is more ditzy or just super bubbly and nice. What's your take on her, and how do you play that character?
I don't think that she's ditzy. I think she's more bubbly. I think that it's all in good fun, but I don't think that she's lacking in intelligence in any way. I think from reading some manga, without giving any spoilers away, from reading some manga, she seems to be intelligent and caring. So I don't read her as ditzy. Just poppy, just
poppy, bubbly.
Yeah.
She's a happy girl.
Bubbly and fun.
So now I'm going to move over to Josh really fast. I need to ask you a few questions about Tokoyami, who actually started off as a very strong silent type at the very beginning with like...
I'm telling you, I'm trying to get Icy Hot. I'm
Here's the endorsement,
spokesperson for Icy Hot. But you know who's the spokesperson for Icy Hot? Shaq. So it's not
makes no sense.
Yeah.
They gotta know who their fan base is. They will get it. Anyway, all right. So within the last season, he's actually been speaking up a little bit. Was it a big shift for you to go from, you know, then where you literally had this one character type to now who has all these emotions and these things that you have to do? Was it difficult to have to change that role?
No, it was a relief. I really enjoyed the fact that we got to see a little bit more of who he was. You know, aside from just the dark and gloomy bird boy that consistently gets stronger every time we see him, but it's just that we don't know anything about him. Like, I think my favorite part actually is that even though he doesn't really speak more than he used to, when he does speak, it's less about like being proper and being the best hero, and it's more about like being there for his friends. And we also got to see, and like the moment where we get to go into his bed, like we see everybody's bedroom, their dorm room or whatever, and then you look inside and it's just dark, and he's got like a bass guitar and a sword on the thing. I was just like, this is every teenager that I knew growing up. It's like, this absolutely makes sense for him. So I'm pretty sure that after, you know, if heroing doesn't work out, he'll find a job at Hot Topic and just rock it there.
If heroing doesn't work out, it's your plan B.
Plan B, dude.
Yeah.
Just so you could not outdo that score. Just like, have you been to the Hot Topic with the bird, dude?
Yeah, true.
So, I know this isn't My Hero Academia panel, but Josh, I have to ask you about Armin. Just one question. What is it like what is it like having to live with Armin as this colossal beast behind you? I mean, this character is, again, started off as a small character that really was overshadowed by his best friend, and now is essentially taken a life of his own, this character of his own. What was it like, I guess, voice acting that character? Attack on Titan is huge.
Armin was the character that I wanted to play. I actually was just having a conversation with somebody outside about this, and the reason why is because I really kind of identified a lot with just his mental state most of the time, which is more of that, he's very reserved, and he's more about, he can be very self-deprecating, and in the beginning of the first season, he was his own worst enemy. He was the one who was always saying, well, like, I'm not a good friend, and nobody, like, I'm not useful at all, and I'm just a burden